Hey guys, Tim here. How y'all going? It's great to see you today. Thought I'd come hang out and do a bit of a video and we could do some stuff. So, I thought I'd talk about some music, I've really been enjoying music recently. So I thought we could play a fun game together. So I'm going to play some music and I'm going to do some whispers. I'm going to say a few words and you guys have to work out if you can hear me, So we'll start off with a nice easy one. We'll play some music. Nice thunder. Did you get that one? Did you hear me say, I'll whisper and see if you can hear me? Hey? No. Pretty good, hey? What about this one, hey? Did you get that one? Oof. Pretty good if you did. Hey, if you did, let us know. I want to know if you got it. So, sometimes it's really hard to hear whispers when loud things are going on, which is coincidentally kind of what today's story is about from 1 Kings 19. How about I'll go get it ready and we'll come back and we'll talk about it together. So 1 Kings 19, if you're someone who likes to read the Bible stories yourself, it's going to be about verse 9 to about 18 if you really want to know. I'm just going to tell you what happens, but if you want to go home and read it, feel free. So, we're talking about Elijah. You may remember him from last week's story with Josh as a guy fighting those other priests about lighting an altar. Pretty good. He's pretty into God. So, what was Elijah doing at this point? Well, Elijah was in a cave. Who knows what a cave is? Yep, that's right. Big rocky hole in a mountain. So, Elijah was there and he was feeling very sad. Why was he sad, you ask? Well, he was sad about Israel because they weren't really going for God, like supporting God. They didn't love God like he really wanted them to, like God wants you to. And he was sad about that because they turned away and they were all supporting other gods like Baal, if you remember last week. Hey, pretty good. So he prayed to God. He was like, God, what do I do? God was like, hey, tell you what, I'm going to be coming through the mountain soon and I'll be there if you want to come out to the mountain and we'll have a chat, As you do, you can go out with your friends and you have a chat. So, Elijah went out to the mountain. So, as Elijah was standing out of the mountain, a large wind came past. Not just like any wind, but this was a wind that broke apart rocks and shattered boulders. If anyone's ever seen a rock be split apart, that takes a lot of effort. So this is a big wind. Bigger than that wind the other month that knocked over all the trees around the place. Yeah, even bigger than that. Which is pretty crazy. But God wasn't in that wind. Next, an earthquake happened. Can you believe that? An earthquake. We had an earthquake a couple weeks ago. How weird is that? But yeah, big earthquake, the ground was rumbling. Elijah was like, what? But God wasn't in that one either. Gosh, it's taken a bit to come through. You know what else happened while Elijah was on that mountain? It's pretty insane. But a fire came through. How was it? What? Wind, earthquakes, fire now. Big roaring fire rushed through. Can you believe that? I can't. That's pretty insane. You know what? God wasn't in that either. You know what? One last thing came. It was a whisper. And God was in that. A whisper. There's all these big and exciting things that came through. you're like, oh, God must obviously be in a giant stone destroying wind. But no, he came as a whisper. And he talked to Elijah. And he told Elijah, this is what you should do and this is how you can help those people. And Elijah was like, this is the best. Thank you so much, God. Paraphrasing. So, it's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah. Tell you what, I think in our life and our time, I think we can kind of be like that. We'll get in a bit closer. It's a bit more serious. You lean in on your chairs watching the video, yeah? Alright. It's like in our time at home, life is pretty noisy, isn't it? Music, there's cars, there's your siblings, if you have siblings, there's pets, parents, school, everything can be noisy and distracting and stuff. Sometimes you just get distracted and you go, oh, I actually forgot to think about God, or I forgot to pray, or read the Bible, or do stuff. There's just so much happening. You're just loud and distracting. I think that's really hard. So like Elijah, imagine getting all that wind and your fire and your earthquakes. How distracting would that have been? He's like, I'm waiting for God, and there's all this stuff happening. Like, oh my gosh, what if he'd missed God's whisper at the end? What if he'd missed it? So sometimes we just need to quiet the noise around us. Just ignore the noise. You just need to sometimes go out, go to your room, find a place outside. I like to pick like a hammock sometimes. Go out into the hammock. You sit, sometimes read the Bible, pray to God. I think that's really good and important to do in our lives. It's just to quiet down everything and just focus in on God, So, and the best thing is when you focus in to God and you quiet everything down, you get to experience Him and listen to what He says, and He can help you and talk to you and give you what you need. And how great is that? It's like the best, Just the best. Love it. How about you pray with me, hey? We'll pray and then we'll get on with the week and make sure we focus in on what we can do. So, God, we just pray that during this week and these months we can quiet down the noise around us and we'd be able to focus in on you and just quiet the world around us and pray and read the Bible and just love you and listen and hear what awesome things you have to say. And all of the Discovery Kids said, Amen. Really hope you've been doing that. I'll be on Zoom watching, so if you did, good work. Love it. I'll catch you guys soon. In the meantime, make sure you're praying, reading the Bible, and buying me coffee. Thanks. Bye.